Let me do it from the...
You know you're beautiful.
You know you're beautiful. You know you're beautiful. I think the thing people ask me more than anything is, what's it like to be the only girl in the band? I don't know. I think it's really interesting.
All right, Freckles.
God, I never listen to this song. Do you listen to any of them? No, but especially this one, I'm so sick of it.
We did a day on this song in terms of recording it. And then it was just sitting there.
And we all loved it.
We all loved it.
Day one, us and John, we were like, this is awesome. And I remember playing it for a few people, and some people really liked it, and some people were like, this is so weird.
Out of nowhere, we had this viral-ish moment on TikTok.
I remember sitting on this couch and I couldn't take my eyes away from the phone.
I was with Jordan and Gracie, I think, called me. She was like, this TikTok's going really viral. We just kept working on the song, but we were like, if it hits 500,000 views, we'll take a shot to celebrate. If it hits 1 million, we'll take another shot to celebrate. But by the end of the night, we were drunk because it kept hitting these milestones.
Everyone was like, you need to put the song out, you need to put the song out. John calls Clyde in such a Hollywood way. The song needs to come out tomorrow.
John is such an epic guy. He really lives it's a movie in a way that I love.
Yeah.
And I feel sometimes he'll call me and I'm just not able to meet his level. He's like, dude, the song's blowing up. It's gotta come out by tomorrow. I'm like, you mean tomorrow? Tomorrow? It's 7 p.m. That's not I think he expected me to either be fuck you, there's no way, or being I think he would have been down for any response, but I think that I was just way too
measured,
practical, yeah. Being I don't know if tomorrow, I mean maybe in 4 days, and he's like, yeah, let's do 4 days, and I was like,
Yeah, I mean, I guess I do think about it a lot, what it's like to be the only girl in this band. And in general, what's it like to be a girl in the music industry, or a woman, if I can call myself a woman now, in the music industry, what that is like. I know from, reading books about women in the music industry that came before me that my experience is actually very rare in that it's very positive. I'm surrounded by really good guys who are interested in what I have to say and are excited about a feminine perspective, whatever that even means. But outside of the guys in this band and on our team, I think I've definitely had some experiences in this industry that have felt misogynistic to me. I think the first touring experience we ever went on years ago, we were opening for this band at this really big venue, and I was terrified. And after maybe 30 seconds of the first song, I looked down, and two rows in the front, a guy is just staring at me going like this. Sorry to the children at home, but I think we had a 45-minute set, maybe 30-minute set. He did it for 30 or 45 minutes, whatever it was. My mic can't really go that far, so I'm just stuck looking at this guy, but I'm doing kind of weird performance things where I'm singing to the ceiling because I'm just trying not to look at him. The inherent problem is that as a girl, I walked away being shoot, did I do something wrong? Should I have been more badass, or should I have been more even nicer because I gave him some weird looks? What should I have done? And I think the takeaway is there's no right thing for you to do because you weren't wrong in the first place. I think that's sort of an encapsulation of a lot of misogyny and power dynamics in general.
people talk about social media and they're like, social media is like a terrible place because it only shows the best parts of your life.
We really don't do that.
I just post a lot of pictures of myself that are like not hot, and like that's like revolutionary. Actually, I think because we try to be funny, like posting the best parts of your life is like not funny.
And I also think that that's present in the music. Gracie talks about it every night on stage. Freckles is a song about empowerment and being a badass and knowing that you're beautiful. But first and foremost, it's also a song about how it's totally normal and okay to have all of these little nitpicky insecurities about your appearance.
What do you think?
Gracie and I run up, everybody's psyched. I start playing with you as well.
I start to click, 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 click,
Here
click,
we go.
click, pop.
Makes sense?
I wouldn't know how to write a self-love song without some like irony or comedy or self-deprecation. And I genuinely, in my heart of hearts, want all women, all men, everyone to look in the mirror and say, you know, you're beautiful. I actually do want that, but I can't tell people to do that without first going through like a minute of talking about shitting on myself.
There's a sort of empowerment in acknowledging your insecurities, and then even with all of that, still finding a way to love yourself and love your appearance. That feels like a fresh take.
Anything that is served up in too saccharine of a package or like a candy, I can't take it. I don't want it. I don't believe it, because I ultimately do feel beautiful, but I also think that my orthodontist may have taken off my braces too early because I asked him to.
At Lawrence, the band.
Look at each other and just sing a whole tone of the whole song.
I think I used to be really hard on myself on the way I sounded. I weirdly, even though we have a song called Freckles about the way I look, I care so much about being funny that the idea of like looking funny didn't always bother me. I have the very classic cliche combination of being extremely confident and insecure at the same time. I've become really comfortable with those insecurities, and I don't think I let those reign my life.
What's up, Dallas?
It's coming out of different channels, the walkout music now.
Everyone has their own list of preparations. I try not to feel like, oh, I have so much more to like get ready for, because like I look at Jonny, who's, you know, making sure that the sound is gonna work in the venue and that I'm gonna be able to hear myself. Clyde thinks a lot about the set list. I don't think anyone else has such a like physical one or like appearance one for sure. I guess they're not being judged on the same things also. No one's commenting on our music videos like whether, you know, Clyde is like pretty or not, you know, because we already know he's gorgeous.
Also, like when I'm getting ready for a show, I'm not trying to look the most attractive. What I am trying to look like is myself. That way I can go on stage feeling really comfortable. And I think that's like what I enjoy about doing my own hair and makeup, is like becoming myself.
I'm amazed at the way that Gracie carries herself and the grace that she operates with all these other little girls that might see her and be like, wow, I want that.
Who's your favorite singer?
Gracie's just incredible. So like unreal. I want to be Gracie. I started singing like a year or two ago, and I was like really nervous to start and everything like that, and she's the reason that I started. So just like thank you for that inspiration and like everything like that. Yeah.
Like when I see girls come to the shows that are like dressed like me, like it genuinely like makes me emotional because I have at many points in my life felt so odd that like the idea that these young girls like would want to dress like me is a really powerful feeling, to feel like the parts of you that are weird, or if I dress kind of weird, that's the part that people gravitate to, not the parts of me that are like like normal. It's almost like the parts of me that were like the secret me are the parts of me that people gravitate towards the most, which is like really, really gratifying.
Let's all circle up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Who's missing? Two things to note on the set list are that it says that we're in Vancouver, but we're in Dallas, in case that confuses anyone.
I have freckles above my knee, and it represented to me this weird part of my body that I was like so embarrassed by. And then John just kind of screamed in the background like, yeah. I think it really does make it clear that like that's really what that song is about. Despite all the things, despite all the inner monologue worries that you have, at the end of the day, you know you're beautiful. And that is what the song is really about.
You know you're beautiful. 1, 2, 3. You know you're beautiful.
Do you wanna do nothing with trees? Do you wanna do nothing with trees? Except you maybe say go fuck yourself. So why they have to be so superficial? Now your wrist may be more superficial. Always seems a little bit so artificial. So go and relax your soul. But it's you, you're the superficial one.
See, I'm always up front up here, but I can tell when something crazy happens behind me because everyone stops looking over here, and I'm like, damn, I missed something really fun.
Way to persevere in the face of noodle.
I had to put that in my
Yeah, no, of course. No, I'm not blaming you.
A very hot guy in front of me, and he kept being like, but like probably because I'm singing.
What made you laugh on Don't Lose Sight?
The fucking noodle! There was a woman in the third row who was really enjoying herself. She had a noodle. For the whole show, she was waiting in it. And I tried to be very good at like playing with whatever people bring to the table. Or it's like in this situation, like what am I supposed to do after a certain point? Like there's only so much gimmick you can do with a noodle.
Disagree. Hard disagree.
I can't get it though.
It just makes you think a lot about fans and the concept of fame in general and the upsides and downsides of it. What does it mean to be famous? Are we at all famous already? And like, do we want to be?